welcome. My name is Raj, and I'm the Director of Education here with NACIS. And I want to thank you for joining us today for our sponsored webinar, Revolutionizing Campus Dining, 5 Years of Innovation with Apex Smart Food Lockers. We have a terrific session lined up for you today, and I'm going to turn it over to Ashley in just a moment. But first, if you haven't joined us before, just want to say a few words about the format of our time together here today. So this program is being recorded for educational and membership benefit purposes. Also, this room is placed into listen-only mode. So as your cameras and microphones are muted, please feel free to utilize the chat function or the Q&A if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for myself or our presenters for today. For those of you watching from our online institute, we encourage you as well to engage. Feel free to contact myself or any of our presenters with any questions or feedback on today's session. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley.
Thanks, Raj. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Revolutionizing Campus Dining, 5 Years of Innovation with Apex Order Pickup Solutions. Today, we're going to explore the journey of half a decade of innovation on college campuses with our smart food locker technology. We'll discuss some of the benefits of this technology, including improved speed of service, convenience for students, and efficiency on the back of house, increasing that throughput and value with data to show all the different operational pieces of your operation. And we'll discover how campuses with deployments like our guests from Rider University are rising to student expectations and what the future holds. We encourage active participation. So we're going to start today with a question. So you can scan that code, see what kind of innovations or technologies that you are looking to potentially implement on your campuses. And as you're putting those in, I can see some people are participating. Okay, we got some mobile ordering. Oh, that's gotten bigger. So we're looking at some mobile ordering there. Great. Some smart lockers. Love to see that. Oh, delivery robots. That's fun. We've seen some of those on campuses before. Mobile ordering, I think, got a little bit bigger on this one. Okay, a little bit more on smart lockers. That's great. Oh, that one's getting bigger too. So we'll talk today about that whole pairing between mobile orders and smart lockers and even delivery robots from that standpoint, as far as how mobile ordering can help all of that. That's great. Thanks for participating. And sorry it wasn't showing the last time. Let's pop through. So my name is Ashley McNamara. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Apex Order Pickup Solutions. And I am joined by Andrew Pignataro. He is Assistant Auxiliary Services Director for Rider University, has over 20 years of experience in higher ed, hospitality, and has been a wonderful client for us. So thank you for being here today. And then we have Peter Ellen. He's a district manager for gourmet dining. He has over 25 years in higher education and campus environments. So thanks, Peter, for being here today as well. So looking at a little bit of Apex's history. So we've spent the last 20 years developing software and hardware solutions to complete what we call the digital chain of custody, looking at how we can automate the last part of a process from ordering something to handing it off to another person in the most efficient and automated way possible, saving time for both that employee and the ultimate customer. And so we started in the industrial applications, looking at back of house experiences, and we broadened those solutions now out into the food service and hospitality industry over the last 8 to 10 years. So the focus was still really looking at how food service and that quick order pickup process could happen. Our first big leap into food service was partnering with Little Caesars on the Pizza Portal technology. And that was all part of their digital strategy to enable a custom pizza with that same efficient pickup as a hot and ready pizza. Then quickly came college campuses, where we'll focus a lot today and a lot on things like Rider University, who took this type of technology and really embraced it and made it a great experience, both on the operations side as well as on the student experience. We'll talk more in detail about Rider University in a bit, But this opened the door to dozens and dozens more college campuses partnering with us to bring automated and integrated order pickup solutions to students, staff, and guests. In each scenario, even though no two campuses were the same, the main drive in everything we were doing was that we call that asynchronous handoff, that how can an employee get that order in the secure compartment and then notify that student that the order is ready and they can come in and securely pick that up in less than 10 seconds. So they're busy and they're on their way. So a little bit about automated smart pickup lockers today. So we are deployed on over 50 college campuses today. Last school year, we had over 1.3 million orders picked up through our automated smart lockers with a 97% successful pickup rate. That means the order came in, the student was happily able to collect that order from the locker. And this continues to grow. We continue to see adoption, and you'll see a little bit of that adoption with Ryder here in the coming slides. So as we look at the student experience, students are digitally savvy. They want speed and convenience. They want that mobile ordering that was talked about on the Slido earlier. And so what we're looking for is how do we meet those student demands? So we look at things like digital ordering on their schedule. They're sitting in class. They know they need to grab lunch before they go to their next class. They can quickly go online, go on that digital platform, place their order, and hopefully then have the experience of swinging into the dining hall, scanning their code, grabbing their order, and they're out the door. And that's no mix-ups, no missing orders. So then they know that their order is going to be there when they arrive. They're not having to sort through things on a shelf or on a countertop or waiting for somebody to hand them that order. There's no lines, no waiting. So again, that whole process of that order pickup for the student is less than 10 seconds. And they will know exactly when their order is ready. So one of those great things about the mobile ordering is we can send that notification in there that says, hey, my order is ready to go. Or, hey, you've got 10 minutes left before it's ready to go. So really giving that student the information they need to then plan the rest of their day. Over the summer, we conducted a survey of students with help from the research team at Florida International University. We collected over 515 responses from students that utilize smart pickup solutions on their campus today. And across all the different dimensions, such as temperature, maintenance, cleanliness, location, speed of order retrieval, user friendliness, overall value, the majority of the students expressed high levels of satisfaction. Whoops. Overall, the satisfaction ranged from, about 85% to 94%, indicating generally positive sentiment toward the food locker solutions. You can see the stats there, 94% are recommending using these smart pickup lockers on other campuses. They're very satisfied with the way that their food is being presented to them. They trust the transactions are safe. They can go pick up the orders and be on their way, and that they agree that they save time. 92% of students are saying that they save them on time. So this is just going to show that these types of innovations, these types of solutions are really resonating with the student population. So in looking at benefits of this entire digital experience, from that mobile ordering and all the way to the locker pickup, there's a lot of different things that can go into this as far as the benefits. You have that reduction in remakes or even disputing the charges because everybody's getting the order that they paid for in their secure compartment. It keeps the students dining on campus. You're giving them a convenience to order online and pick up to where they're not ordering it from the delivery services or anything like that, to where they're ordering on campus. You're increasing that transaction value, that revenue. And we'll see in a little bit how Ryder's grown some of their numbers in their operation. It's a repeatable and dependable process. Like, it's something that the students can rely on and come back for every single time. I'll bring in Andrew and Peter in this one. Like, what are the benefits of this entire digital experience that you guys have seen with your operation at Ryder?
I would say, and to Andrew from Ryder, I would say it's meeting students where they're at. They're so used to this from their high school years and probably younger. A lot of these students are pandemic students that have come through, and mobile ordering is what they know. I think one of the fears at the beginning was from some stakeholders. oh, we're going to lose that interaction, that customer service side of it. And it is true, but it's a good thing, and it's not good. We still that allows us more time to be more efficient in other areas, and we get to sit down and meet with the students at SGA meetings, at residence hall meetings, at commuter meetings, to where we're not worried about remaking orders, refunding orders. Not that there were so many mistakes, and this that there is a small margin for mistakes, but it really is foolproof on that end. But again, just having students come to a campus where they're accustomed to doing this and not having them come and experience college where they have to wait online to place an order, wait for the order to be made, and then wait to be called. It's something that's really efficiently. It's been more advantageous than we even imagined it would be when we made the decision to proceed with Apex.
Have you seen the shift? Because you guys had the solution in this whole digital experience, even pre-COVID. Like, have you seen a shift in like the way students view hospitality these days? Some days they want to grab, mobile order, grab their order and go. Some days they want to come sit in the dining hall, order a meal, and have that experience in-house. Like, have you seen that shift a little bit?
We have the benefits of both worlds in the particular location that we put that we put the locker system, where they do have the opportunity to run through, grab it, and continue through out another door on their way to class. We also have a full seating area in this food court type area at Ryder where they can sit and enjoy with their friends, study, or kill time between classes. Because out of our roughly 4,200-ish enrolled, that half are excuse me, half are commuters and half are residential students. So we get plenty of the commuters that are placing these orders from the time they park in our parking lot. So they walk into this building on the way through, and it does have the perfect exits and entrances to be able to, they don't have to return out through the same entrance they came. They enter through one side, they're exiting through the other side on their way to the academic side of classes. So we do have the best of all worlds where that works great for the commuters. The other is, be it a commuter or a resident student that's in the classroom. We don't encourage this, but they have learned our peak times. They do get to see, because of our integration. We'll talk more about that with mobile ordering a little bit, but it's great that the students have their standing order. They can reach down to their phone in class, pop their order in. It's not even like they have to go through. It's like remake past order. Yes, done. Fully integration. They're on their way out of class, and they do know it takes a few minutes to make these orders, especially some hot foods, with Jersey Mike's and the cold subs. It's not an on demand where it's just coming out like a fast food joint. It is quick service, and their food is ready. They barely wait. They time it so they're coming straight in, grab it, pop the locker, and away they go.
That's right. And maybe Peter, and I'll jump to the next slide. Like, how has this whole digital experience affected the operations side of the dining at Ryder?
Well, very much so. I think I want to touch base on terms of the student experience. We're going into customization, and that's probably one of the main points that our students want, or
Yeah.
our guests want, is being able to be customized. Think about it. I'm able to customize my order, but I'm actually going to customize in my customized special locker that it's for me, and I know it's there. So I thought that was another interesting point, and very well perceived as a student. As an operator, it's pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, if you're looking at space and availability of space, the lockers have allowed us to provide a lot more variety, a lot more offerings to our students in a smaller footprint. And I think that was a major benefit in terms of facility and space and sizes. In terms of efficiencies, it's again, it's a self-operating unit. So basically, I'm using technology to order. Elimination of point of sales in our facilities. In our entire campus, I think we have maybe 3 POSs total, serving well over 4,000 transactions a day, 5,000 to 6,000 transactions a day. So the elimination of that role and utilizing that role as an ambassador to the dining facilities to welcome them, sit down and talk to the students. Hey, what are some things that you like? What don't you like? And really enhance that experience, I think, has been very beneficial. Again, the use of the space, utilizing it to provide a variety of menu options, and utilizing one kitchen has been very beneficial in our operations.
No, that's great. And I think the other piece of this for operators is gaining some of that additional data that you maybe didn't have before. So looking at, the times that, how long you can do, how many people you need on shifts based on that order volume. Because you have so many coming in, it's predictable because of the digital nature of it, that you can staff things properly. Looking at, how much space you need for maybe a new scenario of lockers, because you can see the throughput, you can see the different things that are happening. You can look at dwell times, how long are my orders sitting in there for food quality? There's ways that you can adjust that within the lockers to make sure that your students are getting, the freshest food possible. There's all these different elements that go into this as well, that, once that order is created and complete, the operator and the team can load that order and move on to the next one. And there's a lot of things built into the technology that's going to help them know what to do next. In most cases, when we set a timer on the compartment, it'll turn red, to where then, okay, this order's been sitting there for too long. I need to do something with this, whether it's pull it out and remake it for the student when they arrive, pull that back and refund them, whatever that looks like. But it gives you far more control over the operations versus having it sit on a shelf and you don't know how long it's been there. So there's some of those different aspects of it too that really help, an efficient kitchen from front to back. So looking at some of the innovations over the last 5 years within collegiate dining. So yes, we have, this great order pickup locker, but how do we use that in a way that really fits into your campus environment? And there's a variety of different ways that campuses have done this to meet the needs of their students, to meet the needs of their campus, and to really drive that innovation on campus. So our first deployments of automated pickup lockers were back in 2019. Since then, we've seen things like hub and spoke, where you're still preparing all the food from that centralized dining location, but then you're taking it to a locker location that's across campus that maybe you didn't need to build out an entire dining facility, but you can still serve students on that part of campus with fresh food from the dining hall. There's been the implementation with national brands, to where like Jersey Mike's, other brands that you're building that brand recognition with that quick pickup and bringing those multiple concepts in for those different things. We've seen them utilize our solutions for late night to keep the dining open longer, but not have that front of house staff there, but just students mobile ordering and picking up for late night. We've seen a really big jump in ghost kitchens. Jersey Mike's being the first one, to where there's not a person you can take the order from, to huge, expansive operations with multiple concepts that they're operating as an entire ghost kitchen. So you mobile order more or order from the kiosk and you're picking up from the locker, and that really nice, efficient transactions happening thousands of times a day. We've gotten into athletic dining, to where we're serving athletes, after practices in a really quick way. There's some schools that are looking at, how do I use the lockers as custom branding to really bring that innovation and that experience to the students. And now we're talking to a lot of schools about expanding. What's next? Where do we need to go on campus? And how can we continue to build that sense of innovation and that sense of that digital culture on campus? So now we're going to shift over to Rider University specifically. So maybe, Andrew, could you give us a little bit of background on Rider for those that may not be familiar with your campus?
Sure. As I mentioned before, we have a little bit over 4,000 total enrolled, plus our community of faculty and staff. We have one main dining hall, and the rest of our operations are retail. We do have a mix of brand and non-brand, or should I say partner branded with Compass Gourmet. We do have a Wendy's, the Jersey Mike's, Starbucks, and we do have a Saxby's on campus. We have other retail operations, and we do have a full service pub with alcohol. We did integrate fully in 2019, which is some of these things are just alignment of the stars, dumb luck, and wanting to stay on the cutting edge of being contemporary and on the forefront. We're investing smartly into the future, but I could just say thank goodness that we had mobile ordering and a lot of things in place prior to the pandemic, because it really helped us be super nimble while people were scrambling, saying, we've been talking about mobile ordering. So not so much to focus on the mobile ordering, but it does directly integrate to you, meaning to Apex. And I know, just for the folks on the call and for future, we happen to be at Rider. We are a Seaboard campus, and then we're a Grubhub campus in front of that. and then the Apex lockers, integrate within there. I know, and I'll leave this for you, Ashley, the pro, to talk about all the different platforms you integrate with. But ours here has been seamless. The files, the startup, the testing that we did back in 19 when we launched and did the installation, it was there was of course a couple of learning curves, but it wasn't massive. It was tweaking. It wasn't like reinventing the wheel because the technology does it all. I think I'm going to let Pete just speak for a moment on the op side, but just to talk about how much savings we've had, as he alluded to earlier, about not having for an operation that puts out this many orders, and we're allowed to because of bubble ordering and because of the Apex locker solution. But what it means in savings to our partner, our operator, in regards to labor and the point of sale systems, that we would need a minimum of 2 on the counter, at depending upon who your partner is and how integrated, how large your system is. You could be looking anywhere, $5 to $10,000 per POS freestanding unit, and those are end of life every 4, 5, 6 years. And then Pete will talk about not just the paper, but the labor, that how many shifts for the amount of hours we're open, how many shifts you'd have to cover to be having, cashiers,
Yeah.
stuff,
Absolutely. It's an obvious cost savings, but it's also opportunity to open up with minimal staff. So therefore, maybe it's just that storefront that you have just the lockers and you have your back of the house working and everything is fluid. So not having to maintain the front of the house, I think would be, very pivotal. Again, the opportunity to cross-train employees in a shared kitchen. So therefore, they are sharing menu items, they're sharing techniques, and you're producing out of that one area has been very beneficial here on our campus, but other campuses with Gourmet and Compass in New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York, we've been very successful in implementing them in those other locations as well. So I think it's been extremely efficient way of running a business, and it provides a lot more opportunities for us to create new revenue. We say ghost kitchen and we always think about efficiencies and saving the labor and stuff like that, but I also look at it as an opportunity to sell more, sell different, sell other things that are going out of those food lockers. The ability to maybe your staff might be slow in the catering operations, but it's an opportunity to, hey, let's do some specials out there today, let's do some different things and have a pop-up, a celebration that we could put through the lockers and provide some excitement on campus as well, has been very beneficial.
I think I would say for our audience that we have thought, and we talk with you about all the other solutions that we have. We don't have the space, that this is a great space saver, but in this location or any venues that we're remodeling right now, Pete and I probably think each week about 3 or 4 different, if we were to remodel this, where would we put the lockers? If we were to do this, where would we put the lockers? I've even thought, like, there are other locker companies out there more suited, but yours is versatile, that I could see working with our campus bookstore partners. And this could be a bookstore solution for after hours. The store could be closed. There could be one person back there grabbing orders. Oh, the bookstore closes at 6, but we still have people here on campus 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. You could have one employee in there, locked, secured, and cameras. No one would have access to the bookstore except for the employee that's in there, filling orders here and there. Even if it was 5, 6, 7, 10 orders a night, pays for itself, and it pays for that labor. And it's also where we get not so much caught up, but as we're all looking at efficiencies, that's not, hey, I got to keep your 3 or 4 employees on in the bookstore until 9 o'clock at night on this late night. It could be something where it's 1 or 2. So again, more efficiencies, more ideas. I'm sure you're talking about different solutions. And just to draw to our folks that are watching, is that's us. That's Ryder there in the center is our locker system, and that's an actual picture of our Jersey Mike's. And there is no counter, there is no anything. Students walk in, scan their QR code off their Grubhub app, pop the locker, and away they go.
Yep. Have there been any specific benefits maybe that you guys have observed over the course of time that maybe you didn't anticipate initially?
From the university's perspective, I would say it was, again, those happen circumstances. Sometimes we lose, and we have things that we fail on, which we have to learn from, but other ones that this one makes up for it. In the location where we're at, it's also for our tour ambassadors, our students, and our prospective students and parents that are visiting the campus. This is a tour stop. This is a location, not just a venue as a whole, but they'll stop the group and talk in front of the lockers as everyone looks at them like it's a spaceship, because it's just the LEDs are pulling at you. I think the lights here are perfect the way we set this when we took this picture. But again, when you see the reds, the yellow, the blue, for what's been holding, what's been out there too long, That's our understanding. It looks fun to a customer because they have no idea what the red or yellow means, as it's going. But when they're there and they're talking about it, they see each parent and student, prospective student, are seeing a dozen plus campuses between their junior and senior year before they make a decision on where they're going. Am I going to say they're making a decision to come to Ryder based solely on our locker system? No, but when you're comparing apples to apples, we're all very similar. We all at the 4 year undergrad and grad school have great, very good dorms, very good food service programs, very good academics. But when they come in and start comparing that this is contemporary, this is cutting edge, this is the here and now. And again, meeting students where they're at. Ma, check this out. This is so cool that you don't have to sift through a counter full of coffee cups or sandwiches to try to find your order, or our partner doesn't have to have an expediter sitting there making sure that people aren't taking other people's orders. Because while we have a very honest community, we have students that are just, you can walk through in those unattended mobile pickup stations. They're ripe for, and we've had it happen where we have to control it. It's not an intentional thing. I think it's just I think that looks like my order, and they grab it, and then the other person sitting there saying, where's my order? We have an upset customer. We have to remake it. We don't know, we'll assume that it was taken by accident, we'll say. And again, makes for more operational inefficiencies, and then it costs us more in the long run, not just the labor, but the remake of those products.
Yep, that's absolutely
But
right.
recruitment and retention is after they get here and they use it, they love it, and they're so happy. They take pictures of it. They post it on Instagram. Look what my college has. So that's great. But now you're getting the word out there. We have 50 other colleges that have it. So we're not so unique anymore. So we have to find new ways to implement it. But from the recruitment side, it is definitely a wow factor for our tour ambassadors and our prospective students and parents to see.
Oh, that's absolutely right. Well, and thinking of that, we looked at some of the data of the pickups at Ryder. And so 2021 is when we really launched that Jersey Mike's brand within your campus, and you saw the numbers skyrocket. But I find this fascinating that your student population hasn't changed, but you're looking at, a huge growth from, 2 school years ago to last school year when it comes to the number of pickups. So that student adoption that you were just talking about is clearly there. I mean, you're at over, I think it was like over 36,000 pickups from last year, which is just an amazing number for such a, for a small student population.
And that just, again, that attributes to Pete and his staff for the efficiencies. Remember, the amount of orders that we take, we also, our partner on Grubhub campus is able to show the students your order will be ready in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 17 minutes. So our students, because of a busy lunchtime and a population, they also they acclimate themselves to be, like I said earlier, I'm going to place my order when I park in the parking lot instead of as I'm walking to the building. They park the car, place their order. There's other students that could pop it in class or as they're leaving class and know, but it's 10 minutes to walk over to this area. I'm going to stop at my res hall real fast. Then I'm going to swing by and get my sandwich. Then I'm heading to my next class. They can count on it. They're getting an alert on our system when it's ready, and their QR code pops up. And as I said earlier, it couldn't be easier. It's not like they have to go, oh, I'm here for my order. Or, I'm Andrew, I'm here. It's no interaction. It's, again, is sad from those of us old folks that love interacting with students. But back to Pete on your efficiencies, where we talk about, even when Pete talked about customization, and this isn't just fast food. This is quick service, made to order, customized every item. When that's happening at a register with a cashier, mistakes happen. Fat fingers happen. We got 40, 50 people queued up, in the stanchions, placing orders, which we don't have that anymore because of this and because of our mobile ordering. That's when orders, you forgot the lettuce. You put mayonnaise in my sandwich. I don't take mayonnaise. You put onions on it, and I'm not happy. So this doesn't give us, and the Grubhub portion of this, where not to focus on that on the mobile ordering, they have a way to provide feedback real time, instantaneously with us through the Grubhub platform and directly to us in regards, I got my order, it was there, but it was, give an example, it had onions on it.
Sure.
I ate it. I ran to class. I have it. So Pete and I'll go back through and credit it in the system, and be able to send them a personalized note. Sorry about that. Thanks so much. We gave you back $5. We credited that order. Come see us again tomorrow. And you get, the thumbs up back from the student. It's real time customer service end side, so we get to follow up with it. How was your meal? That's something we can have in our mobile side. But it's also, they didn't have to, again, come back. I have to go to the dining office to complain. I have to go find a manager. I'm unhappy. I'm just not going to order anymore. They can just pop it right in, and we can remake their sandwich and say, come on back. Here's your new QR code, pop back in and come get it. Or you got something on us later for dinner, or we just credit the order, which isn't too common.
It's also the configuration of the locker also allows to eliminate lines because you're vertical. So you're not waiting in line. You're basically going up and just coming and grabbing your order, which I think is beneficial. You've also asked a question in terms of what you would have done differently or how you would change as we evolve. I think one of the largest things that I would see is that on campuses, there's a large demand for communal space, relaxed space, soft space in our dining facilities. I think if I were to remodel some of the, or look at some of the remodeling going into the future, I would take a look at some of the Apex lockers and start designing from the back of the house out.
Yeah.
Utilizing some of the bone and structure that you have internally to produce the food out of the lockers, and then maybe not use as much investment in the front of the house, or a lot cheaper investment that you wouldn't have to do all the plumbing and electric or the tray dresses, and put more soft seating, more communal spaces, so folks have the opportunity to mingle with the guests in a soft seating in a comfortable environment. Or guess what? In a retail environment, a lot of them want to go back to the dorms or go take it to the class. So I think that was one of the big observations looking at that food locker, 5 years from now compared to now. That's kind of how I would see it moving into the future.
And well, we had that as part of our thought, and that's why you met the checking of the box when we went through this and started. But also, we do have not a large amount, but we do have several ADA students on campus. The lockers roll right into them. Also, that they'll say, please put it in a lower locker when they're ordering on their app. Boom, automatic. Our staff follows that, puts it in the lower locker for our students that might be in a wheelchair. Come up, scan. It's at the proper height for ADA, and they're on their way too. So it is versatile for every part of our community population.
No, that's great. Well, and I think too, to your point on the communal seating and things, like they still are going to stay, there, talk to their friends. They're going to spend the time doing that, not spending the time standing in line, placing the order, picking up the order, all of that kind of thing. So it's shifting the way that they're spending their time and doing it in a way that's far more fun, honestly, from that standpoint. The other thought
Students have a lot going on. It's a lot of stress and frustration. They don't have time to be standing in lines where maybe from our generation we did, or we didn't know any better. We didn't have these capabilities. It's something where they do share amongst each other. Look what we have. Look what we do. And it does save them time and at least perceived time. Even if they go and sit for an hour, they want to sit with their friends for an hour. They might only have a half hour in between class. This makes every minute count for them.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So just the last piece of this, and unfortunately, George Kuzma couldn't be here with us today, but he talked to us a long time ago too about the metrics and how we're utilizing the metrics on the back. We've talked about this a little bit, and I don't know, Peter, if there's anything else you want to add to this part of the conversation.
Sure. Again, it's just another way to track accuracy in terms of order delivery. It also alleviates a lot of the efforts or a lot of the errors that we spoke about. The errors in terms of our operational errors, and the customization makes it a little bit easier to be more effective and efficiently. And in terms of the metrics, again, analyzing what's the throughput, what's the transactions per labor hour, a little bit easier to track it through that system, or also through our Grubhub ordering system as well.
Yep.
Ashley had mentioned earlier the jump where we've relatively stayed the same in our campus population, but you've continued to grow the business. And I think that's just attributed to your staff, the returning staff that just gets faster, better at making Jersey Mike sandwiches. And we can throttle up and throttle back the mobile ordering side, so we don't bury the kitchen with 300 orders, but we can only make 100 in an hour. So it'll say, Jersey Mike's is very busy right now. Would you like to order from Wendy's or go to one of our other operations if you don't have the time? So it also provides that side of, the positive side is that's why the throughput is higher, because Pete's staff just keeps getting, you didn't think they could beat last year, and all of a sudden it's more throughput, more per hour, which is more sales, more satisfied customers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else you guys want to add? And we can open up for questions if you guys want to type in some questions. Any last comments or thoughts from either one of you?
I think we've probably said enough, and if not too much, but I said we're always here to answer the questions, and we'll be at NACIS as well, joining you. So Pete and I will be around, walking around on the trade floor and hitting education sessions, and then, we'll meet up with you there as well. But we'd love to see folks at NACIS at the end of the month or the end of next month.
Absolutely. We'll give it a minute, see if anybody has any questions. But thank you for joining us today. Again, apologies for the beginning of my presentation, as you saw everything there. But as you can see, the sky has lightened up a little bit in the back behind me. So that means it's going to turn out to be a good day. So Raj, I think we'll kick it back to you for some closing.
Awesome. Sounds good. So on behalf of the NACIS team, first, thank you, Ashley, for partnering with us. And then also to Andrew and Peter as well. Want to thank you all. And thank you all for joining us today and for engaging in this content. As you can see on your screen, we do have a very brief survey that we ask that you complete really quickly before you head on out to your next meeting or next appointment, things you got going on. As they mentioned, C3X registration is open. So definitely make sure that you register for C3X. We're excited to see everyone in Orlando, Florida. Might even go see Mickey. We might have Mickey there. You know, who doesn't want to see Mickey? So that's awesome as well. Again, thank you all. If you are CASP, please feel free to upload this session for credit as well. Make sure you get those recertification points in there too. So again, thank you all so much, and we hope to see you at future NACIS education. Thank you all. Have a great day.